we need to apply another rule or law, as we know, as we call it, the carbon tax.
So the fossil base currently is a little bit low because using subsidy. Right?
Exactly.
Once the subsidy is gone,
correct,
then perhaps we can actually compete.
Of course, please move on. Net zero emission will coming soon. So the hydrogen will become the actor.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, we are back with the Carbon Forum with me, Poempida Hidayatulloh. And today it's going to be very special because we will be talking a lot related to hydrogen. And hydrogens in Indonesia, we have abundant of the sources of hydrogens because we are actually having a lot of coastlines and one of the longest coastlines in the world. So why not utilizing it? But we will be discussing related to the technicality of it. And with us, we already have a very resourceful person related to this issue, Dr. Deni Shidqi Khaerudini. Hello, Pak Deni.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, good. Thank you. How are you, Pak Poempida?
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you for being here. And
most welcome, Pak Poempida.
Yeah. You're one of the bright scientists from BRIN, right?
Thank you, Pak Poempida. Yeah.
And you're focusing on the renewable energy, but we will be talking focusedly on this hydrogen, right?
Okay, please.
So when I watch YouTube nowadays, there are a lot of skepticisms related to the production of hydrogens. Do you think that the world is kind of I'm not saying the world, but I'm saying maybe some of the industrialists, they are not keen on exploring this source of energy called hydrogens. Can you tell me about it, please?
Okay, thank you for the question, Poempida. So as we know that in our current condition is like the climate, the temperature also is not good. There are no any other choice. Otherwise, we need to go to the clean energy.
Correct.
According to many study, the best solution, the critical one that can afford and that can solve all of it is hydrogen.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Maybe we can talk further. There are so many resources of hydrogen. Hydrogen we can take from any renewables and many resources also. Yeah. And actually, hydrogen also can use in many sector, not only energy. In oil chemical.
In any kind of industry.
Any kind of industry. Yeah. Fuel or non-fuel.
And it can even run the powertrain. Yeah.
For sure.
For moving the
automotive. Already.
Right?
In Germany, in UK. In Saudi Arabia also already have.
Oh, okay.
In US already have one recently.
So basically, how the hydrogen is produced?
Okay. Previously, hydrogen is produced from the fossil fuel based on the natural gas.
Yep.
We call as the SMR or steam methane reforming. That process still can emit the CO2 or carbon dioxide.
Of course. Anything comes from the fossil fuels will
for sure
produce CO2 because there is a carbon inside it.
Yes. One of the key factor why the hydrogen should be emerged, why the hydrogen should be, we need to introduce in any aspect, because when we introduce the renewable energy, as we know that renewable energy is intermittent.
Yep. The
intermittency power, it should be storage. So we need, so we have two type of the storage in the electricity, in the electric or like battery, or in the hydrogen. In the battery, the storage capacity is limited. Meanwhile, in hydrogen is unlimited and can retain until years.
Yes, of course, because there are two ways in exploring exploiting the power of hydrogen. First of all is through burning it.
Correct.
Yeah. The second of all is using the fuel cell.
Using the fuel
totally
cell.
different approach. But then both of them you can produce energy out of it.
Correct.
And which one of which that you think is more favorable?
Yeah. If we talk about the non-zero emission, for sure the electrolyzer base or the fuel cell base that you mentioned before, So actually, there are so many kind of the technology based on the electrolyzer, like alkaline based, solid oxide based, PEM electrolyzer based, anion exchange membrane, and many. And now on, that technology become more massive and more cheaper in order to compete with the fossil fuels, the fossil base.
Yeah, fossil fuels. Yeah.
Fossil fuel base.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. If you burn the hydrogen, you get the power, but still you don't get any emissions out of it, right?
Okay. Let me make it straight like this one. The hydrogen we can use in both way, burn or converting.
Yeah.
Converting like into fuel cell, it's not burning. It's just convert.
Using anode cathode.
Anode cathode become a proton and electron.
That's right.
And then the output or the byproduct is only water or H2O.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the burning system or combustion, there are also we need to adaptation the machine or the like the piston or many nozzle also.
Well, one other thing when you burn hydrogen is because the explosivity is quite significant.
Yes.
Second of all is the lubricant sort of issues, right?
Correct.
With the engine.
Yeah, but recently like the Mitsubishi heavy industry and many others industry also, like Toyota also. Toyota, they have two kind of the machine. The first one, the combustion base, and the second one using the fuel cell base.
Yeah.
The very well known is Toyota Mirai. But the machine that can afford or that can adapt with the hydrogen also they already built.
Okay.
Just 1 week or 2 weeks ago they launched it.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's good news then. So I think Indonesia should focus in producing hydrogen, right?
For sure.
We have a lot of source of renewable energy that is, you said it, intermittent, fluctuating.
Yes.
And then also, well, basically it's just, I mean, technology-wise, hydrogen sort of production is not, I mean, it's not rocket science, right?
Correct.
It's quite straightforward, right?
Exactly.
And we can actually collect most of the supply chains for producing these hydrogen, right?
That's what my focus of research, how to store and transport it. Because there are so many ways in order to transport hydrogen. As we know, hydrogen is very light element. The table periodic is on the top left.
That's right.
Right? So that's the challenging.
Yeah. Because the atomic number is kind of tiny.
Correct.
So it will sort of leak out when you sort of try to contend it.
Yes.
So you already identified some ways in contending this hydrogen?
Correct. So there are a number way in order to store or to transport it. For instance, in the solid storage. Solid storage. So the hydrogen should be adsorbed into into certain materials.
Some porosity, using porosity sort of scheme, right? Yeah.
The one that we are already research, like the graphene base and graphene base and also sodium borohydrate base.
Yeah. We talked about graphene with Pak Puji the other day.
Yes.
So I'm very interested in graphene.
Yeah. So the graphene also can be utilized as the adsorbent material for the hydrogen.
How do you release the hydrogens once you absorb into the graphene, for example?
When we adsorb, we need a temperature, and when we release or desorb, we also need temperature.
Oh, so you're playing around with the entropy.
Yes, exactly.
Of the material.
But the one advantage is when it already adsorbed. So when you transport it, you just keep it in the room temperature or normal pressure, no problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. That should be a breakthrough. And once we can actually have a container of hydrogens, then hopefully we can, I mean, one of the cleanest, I guess.
For sure.
Cleanest,
no any C.
Power.
C compound on the hydrogen, of course.
Wow. Now we're talking about the cost.
Okay.
You were mentioning that the cost is maybe slightly a little bit higher than the fossil fuel production.
For sure.
But in the future, I guess when you reach certain economic scale, it should be quite balanced, right?
Correct. Yes.
So can you explain a little bit more how we actually proceed with this?
Before I answer your question, we need to apply another rule or law, as we know, as we call it, the carbon tax.
Oh,
When the carbon
law.
tax is imply,
I heard next year. That would be next year.
I hope so.
Yeah, implemented.
When it implication, so the economical or the LCOE, levelized cost of the energy or levelized cost of hydrogen will be faster. Okay, so if the carbon tax is not applied, so the fossil base still have the incentive, right? So the green energy is still expensive. We cannot reach the balanced price like the fossil base.
So the fossil base currently is a little bit low because using subsidy, right?
Exactly.
Once the subsidy is gone,
correct,
then perhaps we can actually compete.
Of course,
with
can. Our target is before 2050.
Okay, sounds very good.
Yes.
Sounds very good. Well, at the moment, when you're talking about the hydrogens, there are, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, there are two types of hydrogen.
Correct.
The brown hydrogens, they call
correct.
it. And secondly is the green hydrogen.
The green hydrogen.
So can you explain to me about
Actually, there are a lot of kind rainbow of the hydrogen.
Yeah, basically it's the dirty one and the clean one.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, the clean one we call is the green hydrogen. The green hydrogen mean we split the water into H2 and O2, hydrogen and oxygen, by using the green electricity.
Yeah.
But if the electricity
electrolysis, right?
Correct, by through electrolysis. But if the electricity coming from the coal base or fossil fuel, we call the yellow hydrogen.
Yellow hydrogen.
Yeah.
Not brown, huh?
Not brown. But if the electricity coming from nuclear, we call pink hydrogen.
Pink hydrogen.
Yeah. If the brown or the black is directly from the fossil. For instance, like the natural gas splitting using steam methane reforming without electricity, become a brown, or based on the coal, we call a black hydrogen.
Wow.
That's one of the example of the rainbow of hydrogen.
Oh, what are blue? Blue hydrogen.
Oh, blue hydrogen is the...
See, I know the colors.
Correct. Nice.
To make it sort of complete.
Correct. The blue hydrogen mean SMR process, steam methane reforming, but the CO2 is capturing. What we call as the carbon capture storage.
I see.
So the CO2 not released into our atmosphere.
Right.
Okay.
But you capture the hydrogen.
Yes.
You split it into hydrogen and CO2, and then you.
But CO2 still capture, not released.
And the CO2 is captured. The hydrogen is extracted. Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. Exactly.
Wow, that's very interesting. I think, can you address a couple of point of views to the audience related to the importance of hydrogen and the benefit of using it? Please, by all means.
Yeah, please move on. Net zero emission will coming soon. So the hydrogen will become the actor. Please keep it up.
Oh, hydrogen is the actor.
Yes, of course.
It's the main actor.
Of course.
Yeah, if we don't actually start using it or start producing it, then we will be left behind.
Behind, for sure.
And the good thing is we have like abundant source of hydrogens, right? Yeah.
That's one of the advantage.
From the sea, definitely.
Of course.
That's one of the things. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we have the longest coastal lines, right?
Exactly.
As I mentioned it in the early stage of these discussions.
Correct.
Right. Well, thank you for being here. And it's been a very interesting discussions. Of course, if we continue sort of discussing it, then there's going to be a lot more to talk about. But then we are stricted with the limitation of the time anyway. But nevertheless, this is a very interesting and fruitful sort of discussion, Pak Deni.
Thank you.
So we will be inviting you again in the future, maybe for more insights on hydrogen.
Thank you.
So thank you, Pak Deni.
Thank you, Pak.
Well, that was Dr. Deni Shidqi Khaerudini, the researchers that is actually focusing on hydrogen production. And he just explained to us that hydrogen now is becoming more important than ever because it's one of the cleanest source of energy. And Indonesia, we have abundant of the source of hydrogens. It's just a matter on how we actually set up a strategy to actually exploit it. And hopefully the government will hear this discussion and start focusing on producing the hydrogen, because the hydrogen is the future. It can be the power source of energy. It can be the power source of automotive. It can be a source of the power of industry. So hopefully by starting thinking about hydrogens, we will be seeing a brighter and brighter future of Indonesia. Thank you for joining us in the Carbon Forum with me, Poempida Hidayatulloh, as always. And until the next episode of Carbon Forum. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.